What up, what up, what up, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. This is the true blue aftermath. Let's go.
You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
What is going on out there, everybody? It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan, coming at y'all with the true blue aftermath, the fallout in Washington. What is going on, Daniel? How you doing, man? Thanks for pulling up, man. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you, no doubt indeed. Mac the Giants fan here, broadcasting to you live here on Mac the Giants fan and at the Blue Crew, Big Blue Crew Network. Another rough day for the New York Football Giants, man. It wasn't. What's going on, Kenneth, man? Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, it wasn't nearly as ugly as it was a week ago. Obviously, looked a lot more competent this week, but still coming up short. Big news from this game: Graham Gano getting injured on the opening kickoff, and that mightily probably changed this game, man, as we could not do anything from the kicking standpoint afterwards. Obviously, without Graham Gano out there, New York Giants failed on a couple of 2-point conversions, missed another extra point attempt by Jamie Gillian. So definitely a rough day in that from that standpoint. New York Giants actually did get down the field in the end zone 3 times, which was a little promising. So we don't get to beat up on Daniel Jones this week. I mean, he did what he always does. He played good, solid football game against the Washington Commanders. That's what he's done consistently throughout his whole career. It was no different today. This L is definitely not on Daniel Jones. People might try to say he could have done more, but honestly, he did enough for this team to actually get the W. If this defense can hold up in between the 20s at all, I don't know. Did Washington punt the football today? Because I don't think they fucking did. I don't think this fucking defense forced a Washington punt all game. Not one. Not one. So people can try to say, oh, we were so great in the red zone. Yeah, the red zone defense was absolutely rock solid. But between the 20s, it sucked. It sucked. Absolutely terrible performance by this defense. Not one goddamn stop. Not one stop. Not even when it mattered the most. Probably should have had the one. They called a terrible defensive holding penalty on Drew Phillips on that one where Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau got the Jaden Daniels. That was a third down play that might have forced Commanders to punt there in that situation, but the referee bailed him out with a terrible call. But I still can't put it on that. Because this defense, if it could have just got a couple of stops, that would have made a difference in this football game. We lost to a Washington Commander team that beat us by kicking 7 field goals. 7 field goals. And that got the job done today for the Washington Commanders. I mean, people will try to beat up on Malik Neighbors for that big, huge drop on that 4th down. You know what? That's a tough break for the kid. He's a dog. We got a special one in Malik Neighbors. We got a special one, and that kid was clearly beating himself up after that. So I hope we don't have dumbass fans here trying to blame Malik Neighbors all of a sudden for the loss. The kid went out there, and he had a nice day. 10 catches, 127 yards, and his first career NFL touchdown. So I hope we don't have stupid-ass fans going out there trying to beat that kid up. Defensively, Drew Phillips, another rookie, another plugger over there. That kid looks like he's going to be a star on this defense before it's all said and done. So I got nothing but praise for him either, man. That was definitely looking like he was a tremendous pickup in the draft. Tremendous pickup. But I don't have a lot of other good things, positive things to say. Like I said, this was just, once again, another terrible performance, man. Terrible performance by the defense. I mean, this is just, I can't understand I mean, Jaden Daniels comes out 23 of 29 for 226 yards. Brian Robinson Jr., career day, 17 carries, 133 yards with a big 7.8 yards a clip. Absolutely destroying this New York Giant defense. Yeah, Singletary had a solid day as well. He did. He had that big fumble, which was huge at the moment because the New York Giants were moving the ball really well once again, and probably would have went down and scored on that drive. We'll never know, but that fumble, I mean, that was a big time fumble right there, in that moment, right to start the third quarter. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to put this one too heavily on the offense at all because the offense did enough in a sense to win this particular game, and it really came down to the defense not being able to stop anything. Like I said, yes, like I said, what they did in the red zone defense, it was tremendous. It absolutely was. Clamping down, forcing those field goals. But at the end of the day, that's what the Washington Commanders did, and they just continued to do it the entire game, up and down the damn field. It's great that you can clamp down in the red zone. That's great. But you got to be able to do something between the 20s as well. You got to be able to do something between the 20s. You can't just let them go up and down the field. There's no excuse to allow the Washington Commanders to not even force the Washington Commanders, we didn't even force them to punt not one time, not one punt. Like, that's not acceptable. That is not acceptable. Like, I can't wrap my head around things like that, man. Micah McFadden, man, came back this week after not pretty much not seeing the field last week at all. He had a pretty big day, man. He got his 12 tackles, 7 of them were solo. He got one of the sacks in this game. Like I said, what I've already mentioned about Drew Phillips, he had 12 tackles as well. So, man, we got a couple ballers, man. We got people that kind of want it, but now we just got to get this defense as a whole, get them on one solid page, man, and get the job done. Maybe. That's a maybe. Tim, we don't know that for sure, but it would have some potential for maybe to see what would have happened. We don't know, but I'm not putting this on Malik Neighbors in any way, shape, or form. Kid had a day. The kid had a day, and that's a moment that he regrets, obviously, as you saw his reaction and saw how his body language the remainder of the time. No one's beating themselves up more than he is right now for that drop. He knows the significance of it. The injury to the Gano and inability of the defense to get stops before the red zone. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are the factors of this game right there. Those are the factors in this game. The two major ones. I mean, just to lose Gano on the opening kickoff of this football game, that was crucial. That was brutal, man. Especially with the fact that the New York Giants were showing an ability to get downfield and actually put the ball in the end zone. But then also the fact that there was field goals to be had as well, where the New York Giants were just going forward on fourth downs because they obviously didn't have a kicker. So all those things do just change the whole flow of the game. I mean, we definitely left points on the table. I mean, right there with that. I mean, for sure. So, like, had we had Gano, we wouldn't even been going for it on that fourth down. We'd have been just kicking the damn field goal and taking the 3 points. So, I just feel like it was a tough day for the Giants, man. But at this end of the day, this defense still did us no favors, man. And I got to put this one mostly on the defense. I mean, sure, late in the game, Brian Burns and Thibodeau started waking up a little bit, but we need that energy earlier in the game. We need that energy much earlier in the game. Like that, we need an impact sooner, like before the fourth quarter. You can't just wait till the fourth quarter and all of a sudden now you're going to start getting after it. Like, that's not good enough. And I agree with you right here, Scrub Zero. It's going to be a long season of sorry football because right now, by us not getting either one of these first two games, it's murderer's row now. I mean, you're looking at Cleveland. We're looking at Cleveland, Dallas, Seattle. I mean, we got the Eagles in the mix somewhere. When I had this Washington team to deal with again, it's getting ready to be brutal over the next several weeks. We may seriously take that trip across the pond to Germany. We may take that trip and be 0 for whatever at that point because it may seriously get that bad. I don't know what to expect, man. Yeah, but you can't roster a backup kicker. You just can't make room on your roster and come out with a back. I hear what you're saying, but that's just you can't take up a roster spot with a backup kicker, bro. That would be just kind of crazy. Like you just there's just more important things. I know when hindsight when things like this happen, it's like you wish you had one, but at the end of the day, you just can't. I mean, in my opinion, you can't take up a roster spot with a backup kicker. This is 100% on Dable. How the fuck do you not get another kicker in? Absolute joke. I mean, like I just saying thing like I just said, man. You're just not going to take up a roster spot with a backup kicker, man. There's no team in the league. It's not on Dable because there's no other team out of the other 31 teams. They're not suiting up backup kickers either, man. That's just not a thing, man. Unfortunately, just when kickers go down, you just hope for the best. I mean, you feel good about your punters handling your kickoff duties for the most part, but obviously field goals, extra points become a little bit problematic in those situations. What's going on, Sonny D? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, you can. If you're talking about Malik Neighbors, yeah, you absolutely can't. Absolutely not. That's 100% what I've been saying. He is the reason why we were in this game. I mean, he pretty much caught most of Daniel Jones' completions. I mean, I feel like other than Wandale was that touchdown catch might have been Wandale Robinson's only catch, one or he might have had a couple. Let me see. What anybody? No, Wandale had 2 catches. Darius Slayton had 3, and Devin Singletary had 1. And so there you go. Malik Neighbor caught 10 passes, and Daniel Jones' other 6 completions were spread out between Wandale Robinson, Devin Singletary, and Darius Slayton. So yeah, exactly. No blame on him whatsoever. And the Jalen Hyatt thing is a complete mystery to me. I have no idea what is going on with that situation. You saw him sitting on the bench, fully dressed, looking like he's ready to go. I just don't get it. I mean, I think with the way this New York Giant offense is, how stagnant it kind of is, just how vanilla we seem to call it. There's situations out there where, man, you come out, man, get a little play action going, and just send Jalen Hyatt on the long bomb, man, and see what happens. Let him run by the defense and see what happens. I mean, you got to try shit like that sometimes. The offensive line played really well in this game. They were holding up well in this football game. Daniel Jones didn't face a lot of like crazy pressure in this football game. So I don't want to hear that either this week. I don't want to hear nothing about the offensive line this week. The offensive line as a unit played well today. They absolutely did. And they were giving Daniel Jones the time he needed to look downfield. So I don't understand the lack of deep shots that this team takes. Granted, took a couple this week at the very least. But utilize all your weapons. I don't understand how you're keeping a weapon on the bench, and if you're just being like, I don't get the philosophy there. I really don't. I mean, yeah, I guess yes and no. It happens. To the young players, you're going to have those moments, man. So I do definitely get it, Scrub Zero. But like I said, that defensive holding they called on Drew Phillips, that was weak. That was terrible. That was a terrible call, and that was probably the only time New York Giants defense would have gotten off the field. And I think that call was absolutely terrible. It was garbage. It was a garbage call. Referees bell washing it out with that one. And obviously, we touched on the neighbors drop. We don't have to really go there. I mean, anymore. I mean, it happens to the best of them. But Hyde isn't made good progress, obviously, because he got in last week, no impact. He dropped the ball. I mean, he did drop the one target he had last week, but we've also seen him make a couple of big catches, man. He's done it. You know that he's done it, and we've seen him do it. So it's not like he's incapable. So you can't just not use him when you got a weapon like that. Somebody that can really put the defense on roller skates. You got to utilize your weapons. This team is not good enough to just leave weapons like him just sitting on the sideline. I mean, I feel like he has, okay, he might not be able to do everything the New York Giants are asking him to do, but you know there's things that he can do well. So just utilize him with that, if, at the very least. You got to just, you can't, I just don't believe in him keeping him on the sideline like that. Yes, our defense is absolute trash, Sonny D, no doubt about it. Why did the Pansy Bowen only play zone the whole game? He was getting cooked all day because that's what Shane Bowen does. And he doesn't know anything else. So get ready for a very long season. Now for what it's worth, you have a less than dynamic offense that we're facing next week in the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, we know what their defense is hitting for, though. But still, I just don't. I'm not a believer in the Shane Bowen philosophy. And it's just another one of it's like another potential failure of this regime that's during the course of this offseason, man. This process has been crazy. It is. So part of it is this damn kickoff rule. Everybody's starting at the 30. That's a good point. I mean, everybody is starting off for the most part pretty decent field position. But that's the game, and that's the game for everybody now, man. That's league wide. That's not just a New York Giant thing or whatever. That's league wide. So that just is what it is. That's just something we're all going to have to get used to. They definitely started cooking. Jones and Neighbors starting to get comfortable with each other, definitely for sure. They were definitely on the same page today most of the way. I wish a couple of them deep shots could have landed, but at least we did take a couple of them. But I just wish we could have landed one, at least one of them. Yeah, I figured you were talking about Malik Kenneth. Oh, by the way, they got one. They got one sack on Jones, I believe. One. Got on one time. He kind of got up into the pocket. They just kind of wrestled him down. It wasn't like an all out jailbreak or anything crazy like that. But they did get to him once. Yeah, that's all I was saying. They gotta at least put him out there and let him, like I said, do what he can do, the things that he can do. What's up, Tudo, man? I appreciate you, man, stopping in, and thanks for dropping the link, man. I appreciate that, bro. No doubt indeed, man. But yeah, it's gonna be a long season, everybody. I just buckle up, man, and understand the situation that we're in. Like I said, this is another tough L. I really, really was hoping we can get this W today and try to form, get some degree of momentum going, but it wasn't meant to be once again. And it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, really. Like I said, defense just got to do better, man. People are just having career days against us. Sam Darnold last week having an amazing day, and for what it's worth, put a little respect on his name. He went out there and had another tremendous game against the 49ers today. So maybe the light bulb has come on for Sam Darnold, and maybe he has just found that perfect spot for him. So because he went out there and did some damage to the 49ers defense as well today. And but as far as this New York Giant team, man, you had Zach Ertz out there making a few big plays. You can't let a guy like him get his confidence back, And just receivers running just wide open, man, all across like the middle of the field and just wide open. I can't get down with that, man. Yeah, am I as angry as I was a week ago? Of course not. We actually looked like a somewhat competent NFL team today, somewhat. It didn't look like a complete embarrassment. But like just watching how they move the ball up and down the field, the Washington Commanders, they are not amongst the league's best, man, but they made it look easy. And I mean, for what it's worth, it wasn't for a lot of their own self-inflicted mistakes when they got in the red zone. Who knows? They could have maybe blew the doors off of us, honestly, because that's how easy they were making it look offensively. So, no, I definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all all coming through here, man. Once again, another edition of the True Blue Aftermath, man. What you got, Kenneth, man? It says in order to be that intense, competitive team, we know some real changes need to be made. Absolutely, man. You need some real leaders out there, man. I feel like that's what this team is also lacking. It's lacking that true leadership. I mean, like for instance, Bobby Okereke, man, he's a dog on defense. He's all over the field. He flies around. I appreciate what he brings to the table. But is he truly that? Is he truly that guy, that leader in the locker room? Is he truly that guy that everybody truly just rallies around and gets behind? Not quite sure. I mean, I think Dex kind of is. I do think Dex is kind of that guy. I think we need a little more of that though. Need a little more of that that type of energy. I just feel like it's just a lack of that here, man. But like I said, it didn't have a lot of big expectations coming into this season, but I was expecting to at least see some decent looking football, and yeah, it was better. It was better this week. As you can see, this New York Giant team has so much more work to do, and like I said, I can't come out here and shit on Daniel Jones. He did play well. But at the end of the day, it doesn't move the needle for me because he always plays well against his football team. So he's got to show me this against the rest of the league. He's got to show me the smart decisions he was making because he made some smart decisions today. He really truly did. So I can't take anything away from the guy. But he's got to show me that against the rest of the league now. I've seen this movie plenty of times. I've seen it plenty of times. I've seen him go out there and have good days against the Washington Commanders. So I'm still my feelings for him are still what they were a week ago, but he did go out there. But I also tip my hat to him when it's owed, when it's deserved, and he went out there and played a decent game today. I mean, what was he 16 to 28, 178 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and he had 32 yards on the ground as well. So, like I said, he made a lot of good decisions. Sure, it was some passes that got away from him a little bit that he could want back, but like I said, I'm not looking for perfection, because that's you can't ask anybody for perfection. That's ridiculous and that's too much, man. But I do appreciate everybody y'all coming out, hanging out with me for this couple minutes, man. While I was talking about this game, breaking everything down a little bit, getting my feelings off my chest, I definitely appreciate y'all out there. Make sure y'all sub up to myself, at MacDaGiantsFan, and definitely make sure y'all go sub up to my guys, the Big Blue Crew Network, man. Putting that work in, giving it to y'all each and every shit, giving it to you 7 days a week. Big Blue Crew Network, everything covered for you. All your sports needs, football, basketball, got the boxing, the UFC. Knocking it out the box, man. Make sure y'all sub up to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. The link is up in the chat. And I appreciate y'all coming out, man. Real quick, Dayball definitely whatever touch he had from 2022, that all that's gone. I don't know what the hell. That just like I don't know. I feel like the team is not really believing in him right now. I just don't see a lot of inspired football. Like I said, I touched on a couple of guys. Like I said, I like what I see from young Drew Phillips and just his second game, NFL game, guy like him. He's out there. He's in it to win it, man. But I'm not seeing a lot from a lot of guys, man. I want to see more from Brian Burns. Like I said, I know he started turning on a little bit late in this game, but too little, way too little, way too late. So not going. That's not. I mean, yes, defense. They got 5 sacks today, but none of them by Brian Burns. None of them by Kayvon Thibodeau. So That we need more. Yeah, so. And I don't know, I think you're talking about Daniel Jones, I'm assuming. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got to see it against everybody else, man. That's all. I'm not going to get excited because he had a good, solid performance today. I can't do it. I can't fall into that trap. If you go out there against Cleveland's defense next week and shreds them up and tears them up, then okay. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. But thank y'all for once again for tuning in to the the True Blue Aftermath. Once again, live, coming at y'all live from the Big Blue Crew Network. Coming at y'all live from my channel, MacDaGiantsFan. Sub up to myself, sub up to the Big Blue Crew Network. Hit them likes on both channels, man. I'd appreciate it. Keep the channels growing. And I'll be back with y'all next Sunday, immediately following that Cleveland game. Immediately. And you can check myself and my guy Adam Costas out on Wednesday afternoon, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another edition of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup, where we get to dig into the Cowboys' ass for that embarrassment they laid down today, baby. And we going to tear their ass up. Believe that. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MacDa Giants fan.